Right, my next guest is in the hot seat. That is Isabel Williams. Isabel, daughter of trainer Evan Williams. Although I feel like I don't want to refer to you as that because you are Isabel Williams in your own right. You've had a brilliant standout season, really. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great. Thank you for having me.
No, not at all. It's a pleasure to have you in. Season's been good, right?
Yeah, my season's been great. I mean, Don's Levant's been the highlight. Yeah, everything's going well and hopefully long may it continue.
Did you think that you would be at this stage, early 20s, riding the amount of horses you are, maybe even 5-6 years ago, or not?
No, absolutely not. I don't think I ever planned to be a jockey. My mum was really keen for us to stay on in education and do our A-levels, and I had an offer to do pharmacy in university. And I think whilst I was studying, that is something that I thought I should do, but there was probably something inside of me which said, oh God, you can't. I think I thought that I would have regretted not riding if I had done it. Yeah, so I remember asking Dad and Paul Maloney at the time, when I'd finished doing my exams, oh, do you think it's something I could do? Do you think I could ride in a point-to-point or as an amateur on the track? And they said, well, if you're going to do it, make sure you go in 100% and do it. It's not something that you can go into half-heartedly. So, yeah, I gave it a kick then after that.
So Paul Maloney's to blame.
Yeah.
So what was that about? That must have been maybe 6 years ago or so? Or
yeah, I suppose about when I was about 18, yeah.
Okay. So it wasn't like you were growing up and early teens being like, jockey, no matter what, that's all I'm going to do.
Like, I always loved riding. I loved riding out, loved being on the yard. Yeah, I loved everything to do with horses, really. But it wasn't something that I think that it was always in me to do it, and I wanted to do it. But I think I thought that the right thing to do was to go have a proper career, study, go to university. That's what all my friends and everybody around me was doing, so I thought that it was right for me to do the same thing.
Yeah.
But after I had been riding out more and schooling and just getting more of a feel for it, I thought, oh, I can't let my early, my teens and my early 20s go without giving it a good go. So,
I mean, so you grew up on the yard, right? That was it for you. So you had that introduction. So I suppose you always had that opportunity there and the option of going into it. But like you say, was it the right thing to do? It's difficult to how you weigh up what the right thing to do is. Is the right thing to do what you're most passionate about, or is the right thing to do what perhaps statistically you're likely to have more of a career of or most success at?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I think, oh gosh, I don't know if my parents were. I think they kind of left the riding thing for me to decide, because at the end of the day, my dad obviously trains national hunt horses, so that's what I was interested in doing and pointing and things. And it's not a case of if you're going to have a fall if you're a jump jockey. It's more of a case of when you're going to have a fall. So I think for them, they kind of didn't really push because they were thinking, I mean, it's brilliant if the girls do want to do it, but if they don't, I think we're quite happy if they choose to do something else.
Yeah, I think most parents would understand that position. If it's their decision, and if they don't want to do it, we are not going to push them to do it. And if they do want to do it, then we're going to make sure they go about it the right way. But it's worked out. I mean, your parents, I'm sure, will be the first to admit it's worked out now after this season's been fantastic. Yeah,
it has, and gosh, I'm glad I did it now. There isn't anything I would rather be doing. I love riding, I love racing, and I love being on the yard with my family. So for me, gosh, yeah, I'm so glad that I did make the decision to have a go at riding.
Don Levant the highlight, no doubt.
Yeah, definitely.
I remember watching, and it just looked fantastic. Looked like the perfect ride, and this, I think, certainly from everyone in the studio when we were watching you here and our team on course, that this was your emergence, if you like, on the bigger stage, on the Saturday stage, because it makes a big difference riding a Saturday. This has been an ITV winner, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's so difficult to get on a horse with a winning chance. especially when you first start out. I mean, at first you start off and you think, I just want to get round. And then you think, I need to give it a good ride. And then slowly people have small inputs into, say, your riding style or whatever, and people try and help you build yourself and as a rider. But yeah, as I say, it's really hard to get on a horse with a winning chance. And to get on a horse with a winning chance on a Saturday in a graded race, it's next to impossible for a lot of people. So I do feel really grateful for the opportunity, and I'm glad that when I was given the opportunity that it did come out and did work in the end.
I mean, it really did. You were brilliant. How do you deal with, or do you ever feel awkward, or that there's more pressure in a way on riding a horse on a big day who is trained by your father, because of what people might think about you getting the ride? Does that play on your mind at all?
Not really. I think I'm in the yard every day. I'm like, I get there first, I leave last. So I mean, if anybody wants to walk in my shoes, they're more than welcome to. If they want to come and have a go of it with me, Ellie and William, and if they can do it every day, then they're more than welcome to come and try with us. But no, I think everybody gets their opportunity, and you should just try and take it with both hands and do the best you can with it.
That's it. You've got to take the opportunity. And there'll be plenty who have got the opportunity and haven't got to where they want to. Don't know when these were exactly. I'd say you look a bit younger.
I think this wasn't too long ago.
Oh, was it not?
No, I just did my hair and things today. So I look a bit different.
You mean you don't when you go out riding?
No.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Do you love it day in, day out?
Oh yeah, absolutely love it. I love working with my family. We all have our part to play. My brother William and my sister Ellie, we all do it together, and it's something that we're really, really passionate about. So I am grateful that I can do it with them as well.
Now, I don't know William particularly well, but perhaps he hasn't been helped riding-wise by the size of your father, so no offence, I'm talking height. But is he...
Oh, my brother, yeah, he's about 6 foot, and I'd say he was about 12 stone by the age he was. By the age of 12. He's
more rugby than jockey, right?
Yeah. But he's big into the horses as well, and it does a lot to help.
What about Ellie? She's riding now, isn't she? Got the amateur licence.
Yep, she's riding as an amateur, and she's absolutely loving it as well. She's at home every day, riding out as well, and it wouldn't be the same without them.
So the last time I was there was a couple of years ago. We came to do a feature on the mighty Silver Streak.
Yeah.
And I was struck by that family atmosphere, definitely. Because the home's on the yard, right? It is all there.
Oh yeah,
And that really came across. That was nice to be part of, anyway.
Yeah, I'm glad. God, yes, we all do it together, and we all have the same goal and the same ambitions, and you know, it's not an easy thing to do with your family every day. I mean, obviously, gosh, like you butt heads sometimes, but I mean, everybody's aiming for the same goal. I think
so. Speaking to Sam Tristan Davis yesterday, who rode Torn and Frayed, the handicap winner for his dad, he said. He was incredibly kind about his dad, who didn't return it necessarily. But I think he was pulling his leg. But he said one of the great things about riding for Nigel is that he can be so honest and he can give that important feedback. And Torn and Frayed, for example, who ran at Haydock last time on heavy ground, he could pull him up because he's not worried about what the trainer's going to think. And that probably helped the horse. So I suppose that's an advantage for all you definitely butt heads, probably because you're open and honest with all members of your family. That honesty must be a huge thing. That must be a huge help to you and the horses in the yard. Oh,
absolutely. I mean, I think sometimes things just don't work for whatever reason. Horses maybe don't like some tracks, don't like, some things just don't go to plan, or sometimes you just don't give them the ride that they needed on the day. And I think because it is your family, you can go back and say, oh, look, I made a disaster of that. It was completely my fault. Like, I think this is what we should do next time. And you know, even though they might be angry in the moment, you know, in the long run it's going to be fine and it will be sorted. And
will your dad tell you if he thinks you've done something wrong?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
it's definitely tough love, but I wouldn't want it anyway. It makes you improve and it makes you have tough skin.
And I suppose equally, he probably knows that you know if you haven't got something right. Just as when you have got something right, you're aware of that, and I'm sure he's the first to say how proud he is of you as well.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he has his own way of doing things, and he's a man of few words, but yeah, I hope that's how he feels.
I'm sure he does. We had him on here a few years ago again, and he was a man of few and choice words, and was brilliant actually, I thought. I saw another side to him opening up about things, which was great. So some of the stars, first of all, Call Cody yesterday, I got excited. I thought this could be another going day for him. He's been fantastic, hasn't he? He almost shouldn't, Cheltenham, because he jumps to his right, he almost shouldn't love it, but he adores it.
Yeah, he's so tough, so genuine and ultra reliable. We're so lucky to have him in the yard, and you know, his front running style, I think, catches people's eye, and I think he is becoming a favourite around Cheltenham. People love to see him. Yeah. But yeah, look, we're so lucky to have him and so lucky to train him, and we enjoy every day that we get to go out and ride him and look at him in the stable. What's
he like to ride?
Strong. He gets on with his work. He loves doing his work. He's a creature of habit. He's much like he is on the racetrack, really. He's headstrong, does his work, and is the same every day.
And there he was. He crossed the line yesterday. Your dad earlier in the week suggested when we spoke for something else that he hadn't necessarily been done any favours last time that he ran not being dropped, but there you go. He loves Cheltenham, doesn't he? And I think another horse who had a lot of public affection, of course, was Silver Streak. The highs so far. Do you feel for the yard that he came around at a really good time for you and you know won some huge races for you at a time when that was very welcome?
Oh, absolutely. He was a joy to do anything with. He was in the yard for a long time, and he was part of the furniture. You know, he was in the first stable as you left the house, and we don't take for granted when we do have a horse like Silver Streak, because we know they're so difficult to come by. But he was much appreciated, and we're very proud of everything that he achieved, and very, very grateful that we got to train him for the majority of his career.
I think that's a massive thing as well when you visit a yard, and particularly a family, and you know, a trainer and a family that live on the yard, and the horses that you literally look out the window and see their head. They are almost part of that family. I take it that's how you felt about him.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. They come first. You think about them before you think about yourself. And I mean, I feel for Lewis, who rides him every single day as well. You know, he said, I feel like I've lost my friend. I know. And obviously the Fells as well, because they had him home every summer, and he was just obviously a lovely horse to do anything with, and he just was probably a once in a lifetime horse. We've
touched on Midnight Shadow, the incredibly sad loss there to the Smiths, who he would have meant so much to. I mean, we know it's part of horse racing. I guess it doesn't get any easier.
No, absolutely not. It doesn't matter how good the horse or how, you know, the ability of it. You're with them every single day, and it doesn't get any easier. But I mean, it is something that everybody in racing will have to deal with at some stage. So it's just nice to appreciate them whilst you have them. Yeah,
and I think the other thing you touched on there is there's no matter the ability of the horse, no matter how popular they are with the public, there's still someone at home at that yard that looks forward to seeing that horse each and every morning.
Yeah, absolutely. There's, somebody who feeds them, rides them, owns them, trains them. Yeah, they have an effect on all of us every day.
Right, you going forward, what's the plan? What's the hope, numbers, figures, or just see where you are at the end of this season?
Yeah, well, I'm not far away from getting down to my £3. I think that's something that I would like to do this year. I know Dad. I think Dad has a few in mind for the spring, but I mean, he likes to keep his cards really close to his chest, so he won't let on.
He won't even tell you?
No, I doubt it, but that's what I'm hoping anyway.
I'm sure he will. I like the dynamic that I get between the two. It's really great. How do you find this side of things?
Probably the most difficult.
Really?
Yeah, I would say so.
How important do you think it is?
I mean, a few years ago, I would say my dad and family were pretty anti-social media, anti anything really to do with the media, but it's something that you have to do at the end of the day. If you're a sports person and if you train or ride or whatever it may be, you're going to have to be able to communicate with the media on some stage. So I think it's good for you just to get on and do it.
Well, I think you've done great.
Thanks.
So you're all good. Isabel Williams, thanks ever so much for coming in.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's great from Isabel, who's enjoying her Standout season. Right, when you rejoin us, we will be getting stuck in some talking points.